Well, it looks very pretty, and it is, but it's freezing out here. We are at minus 15 at the moment, went down to minus 21 last night. So you know what? I'm not staying here. I'm getting cold. Must be growing soft in old age.
Cold?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, it is a little cold. Afternoon.
Hi, Gary.
Hi. January 1st.
Yeah.
Start of a new year.
Yeah.
Another one. Happy New Year to everybody. And it's bloody cold. Minus 21 last night. So I have a propane heater set at, I don't know what temperature it's at. I think I got it set at about 64, 62. It's actually 64 at the moment, so it's up and down a little bit. But I mean, it's really nice to have some heat. So we're going to do a experiment. So on the bench in front of you, you can see a whole range of potting and seed starting mixes. Now, I have no affiliation to any of these companies or any of these people involved in this, none at all. I have never, ever, ever used any of these products before.
So this could be interesting.
Yep. Yeah, it could be really interesting. So I don't know what it's going to be like. And what we're going to do is I've prepared a tray of each, and then we're going to sow a variety of cut and come, again, lettuce. And we're going to sow exactly the same in every single tray. And I want to see what happens over a period of a couple of months. Germination shouldn't, in theory, be any different. What I'm trying to also do is to see how this various seed mix, potting mix will sustain plants over a period of time. Now, some of these are seed mixes, some of these are potting mixes. Some of the potting mixes, so for instance, the two Pro Mix ones here, apparently this one has 9 months worth of feed, this one has 3 months of feed. So in theory, those two should sustain the plants longer than, say, for instance, the Miracle Grow one, which when you look at the breakdown on the bag has virtually nothing. And a seed mix does not require any fertilizer. So it's going to be interesting for me. And then the very end tray is a Gary special with my mix in, which I'm not going to tell you what I use at the moment. I'm going to keep that as a surprise. But my first initial impressions of each one, I'm going to put a score out of 5 on each. So first of all, we have the premium seed starting Jiffy mix. Oh, by the way, this could be quite a long video. So get yourself a cup of coffee or a beer before you sit down.
Well, it is New Year's Day.
Oh, get ready. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where's mine?
Oh, wait a minute. This isn't going this isn't going out for a week.
Yeah, but we could have a beer and a something here because it is New Year's Day. So this is Jiffy Mix Premium. I got to be careful to not pass judgment on this already, which I'm finding really difficult.
You don't say.
Yeah. So this, when I first opened the bag, was literally dusty dry. It's got very little structure in it. Very little structure at all. Anyway, this one, out of 5, I'm going to give it a score of 1. So this one gets a 1. Pro Mix. It has a little bit more structure. It was nice and moist when I opened the bag. It didn't need any water on this one at all. And it has got some perlite in, whereas the first one had no perlite. It looks like it's a mix of vermiculite and peat. This one is a bit of a mix of vermiculite, peat, and perlite by the looks of things. And it does have a little bit of structure. This is actually a organic seed starting mix. What makes it organic? I don't know. Because apparently there is 3 months worth of feed in here. So how they've incorporated feed into this this mix without using chemicals is a mystery to me. So we'll see. But because of that, I'm only going to give this one a 2. I like the structure a little bit better on this one. The next one is a Gulf Green potting soil. Now, all of these should germinate roughly the same, regardless whether it's potting or whether it's seed. There should be no difference. I do not see the need at this stage for anybody to buy seed starting mix. You can use the potting mix, but we'll see. This one, again, this one has a peat perlite mixed. It does have a little bit more structure in it. And this one, actually, I did think wasn't bad. It was fairly moist when it came out of the bag. Yeah, you don't want to be sowing your seed into dry compost. Some of these have dried out a little bit on the top now because I did these yesterday. They've dried out a little bit, but believe you me, they're moist enough. So yeah, if it does come out dry, and I'll go back to this first one just to show you. This was like, you can see how dry the bottom is, where the top is moist because I've tipped some back in, but the bottom is boom. I mean, if I didn't have the doors of if I didn't have the doors of the garage shut, this would have blown away off the bench. It was so dry. But again, that should make no difference as long as you moisten it, as long as you give it some water before you sow in it. So the Gulf Green one, not bad. Germination wise, I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to give that one a 3.
Before we go any further,
Yeah.
What are you scoring out of?
5.
Okay.
I did say 3 times or 4 times. Bloody cameraman's asleep now as well.
I haven't had anything to drink yet.
No, perhaps you ought to. Next, Miracle Grow seed starter. Apparently it's enriched. Don't know. No idea how it's enriched. Nice open mix, came in fairly moist. It's got a nice bit of peat perlite in it. It's got some structure in it. And when I say structure, you can see the tiny little bits of fiber, wood, whatever you want to call it. So that one, I'm going to give that one a 4. Purely on the structure and what I see on the bag. The only reason I won't give it a 5 is because I don't understand in my own mind the enriched piece of the description. Then we go on to, we have a Pro Mix, premium potting mix, and a premium vegetable and herb mix. So first we're going to do the premium potting mix, which apparently is going to give you 20% bigger plants. And it's going to feed the plants over 9 months. And what that means, I have no idea. I would imagine that means that you can wet it up fairly easy. But I'm just guessing. Again, this one, structure-wise, was not bad. It was nice and moist. Got some perlite, obviously a decent amount of perlite in it. I don't think there's any vermiculite, maybe a small amount. But it was a nice, fairly open compost, and it came in fairly moist. Now, at that point, I would have given this one probably a 3 or a 4. But I'm not going to. I'm going to give it a 1. And the reason I'm giving it a 1 is because it says it has 9 months worth of feed. I do not understand and can't comprehend how they can put 9 months worth of feed in there when I see no sign of fertilizer at all.
And as it's a 9 month, it should be in a granular form.
Hold that thought just for 2 seconds. I use something called Osmocote, and it's a granular. And we use one here. This one's a 4 to 6 month slow release, time release, and it's temperature and moisture related. There's nothing in this one, so I do not see how they can incorporate it. So that one has been downgraded. Now I may be wrong. We'll see that as the plants grow. The next one, let's move that. The next one again is a Pro Mix. This one apparently, for whatever reason, I don't know why, because again, it's premium. They're going to be 20% bigger, but there's only 3 months feed in this one. Now, I don't understand why this one has got 3 months and this one has 9 months. But the funny thing is, the structure of this premium organic one is totally different than the premium potting mix. It's very, very fine, very dust-like. Again, I see no fertilizer in that at all. I see nothing. And it feels gutless, which is one of my favorite terms. So that's going to get a 1. The next one, Gulf Green. I thought I'd try something different. I just wanted to see if what this is going to give me. So this is supposedly an African violet and tropical plant mix by Gulf Green. Be careful, Gary, what you say. It appears that it's got a nice bit of structure in it, and one or two twiggy bits and one or two other bits and pieces. Now, this to me, this is a long-term potting soil for your houseplants. So you would think there would be fertilizer in it, and yes, there is fertilizer in it. And here it is. Here's the proof. Here's the fertilizer. I've just pulled one right off the top, but when I do squeeze it with my finger, look what happens to it. I'll find you another one. Let's pull one right out of the tray, Julie. Can you come in a bit closer? Let's see if I can find one in here. There isn't very many. You might want to wait a minute while I search for one. Oh, there's one. So there's one there. Just scraped it off the top of the compost. So again, this looks like it's Osmocote. So there's an Osmocote off the compost. If Julie goes back a little bit, I'm going to put an Osmocote, one of my Osmocote that I just pulled out, and I'm going to put it beside it. So you can see, same product. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to watch this or not, but if I put my finger on this, I put my finger on this, and it's hard as hell. As soon as you put a plant into that, in the warm of your, wherever you're going to put it, and you water it, it's going to release that amount of fertilizer almost instantly. So if it doesn't kill the plant is certainly not going to have anything to live off of after the first couple of weeks. I don't understand how these companies can put fertilizer into any of these bags of any sort, because that's obviously been on the shelf of wherever you're buying it from, Canadian Tire, Walmart, wherever, for months. I've had these now for about 6 to 8 weeks. They've been in my insulated garage. They've never frozen. Temperature goes up and down a little bit. But if the compost is moist, these fertilizers in them is going to start to react. There is no way you've got 9 months, 3 months, or any months at all left in these composts. This Gulf Green one, African violet tropical plant, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole just because of that fertilizer. That's going to do so much damage to your delicate plants. So that one's going to get a -1. Now, I could end up eating my words and find that's the best growing one of the lot.
And you're going to have to say so.
I will do. I will say 100% truth.
Right. Okay.
Finally, well, not quite finally, but the next one is called Black Gold. I thought, this is going to be a really good one. I'm going to see lots of really dark, rich.
It's the lightest one of the lot.
It's horrible. I'm sorry, but there's just nothing else for it.
What's black about it?
There's nothing black about it at all. It came out fairly moist, but it's got the finest perlite pieces I've ever seen in my life. And I would have said it's 75% perlite, 25% something else. I don't know if it's peat, what it is. There's absolutely no structure to it at all. You're going to put a plant into this, you're going to water it, and the compost is going to slump. And anyway, so that one, at the moment, I'm not going to give it a minus, I'm going to give it a 1, because we'll wait and see. Now, the last one is my mix.
Very special.
My special. So anyway, it says Meadowview Mix. Now, I ain't telling you what's in it. Not at this stage. All I will say is it's a really open, free-draining mixture of peat, perlite, and something else.
You just said you were.
No, I'm not going to tell you what the something else is. Okay. I'll tell you but I'm not going to tell you the something else. I've added stuff to it and always will do. And we'll come to that. And if it fails, well, I'll still tell you. But I'm going to give this one a 10. No, I'm not. No, I haven't better, had I? And there's no fertilizer in that at all. So we'll see what happens. I forgot the seed, left it indoors, so I had to go fetch it. Anyway, It's still cold out there.
Is it?
Yeah. This is what we're going to sow in every single tray.
It's a cut and come again salad.
Yeah. So in theory, we would expect this once it's germinated. Oh, bloody hat on in here, it's warm. Once this is germinated, we would in theory think we're going to get at least 3, if not 4 cuts off of this. We will, there's the seed. And as you can see, it's quite a mix. There's lettuce, there's radish. I'm trying to think
Bok
what else.
choy?
There's a little, yeah, there may be some bok choy in there as well. But it's a really good mix. And like, you know, they can be cut and come again, as they say, many times. Now I'm going to try and get it back in the bag. So, seed, sowing, pretty simple. Oh, shit. Now, not every tray is going to have exactly the same seed in it. There'll be because this is a mix, I can see now, I'm trying to shake this up. There we go. A bit, so there's a bit of everything coming out. So this is just random, however they come out. I'm just sowing. I know I'm sowing it much lighter than I would normally. So that's it. I've been over them twice. What I'm hoping is by the first time there's a lot of the bigger the seed coming out, because the big seed always makes its way to the front, and then the finer seed tends to fall to the bottom of the packet. So I've gone back over them again. So I'm hoping we get a really good mix of everything in there. So the only thing I'm going to do with that now is now normally I would not firm this down, but because there is a proportion of larger seed in here, I want to just give it a very gentle, every single tray, just a very gentle firming, just to set that big seed down into the compost. Because these are all of them are only going to get a really light covering. I don't have to worry about if there's any seed stuck on the bottom, because I'm just transferring it from one to the other, so it doesn't make no odds at all. So that's it. Everything's sown. So every single seed tray is getting covered with its own compost, which is the little pot head at the back. And again, this is going to get done very lightly. I'm not going to go overboard with the covering. I'm only doing it on the tray because I don't want to make a mess in the bench. That's about it. And then just give it a little tap. So that's and I'll do every single one the same. Nothing any different. So that's where we are. That's where we've got to with that. And then I'm going to put them into the propagating bench. And then once they're on the bench, I'll give everything a really good soak. But we'll show you that once I've finished sowing. Can I talk now? Sure?
Oh, you can talk.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so everything's sown. It actually looks quite pretty. All the different shades of brown. Yeah. So that's all of them done, all covered with their own compost. I've just put them in on here. Temperature again on the thermostat is set at about 68, 69. That'll give me the temperature I want. I don't want to overcook these things. At the end of the day, they're salad. They like a little bit of warmth. So they'll be on here now. This is turned back on. No lights. I mean, I've only got the lights on because you can see what otherwise it just you can't see what you're looking at. So I'm going to give them a really good soak now. One thing to bear in mind, especially at this time of year, do not water your plants, whether they're indoor plants, whether they're seed trays that you're putting on a propagating bed, with water straight out of your well, if you're on well water. The water out of a well comes out, if it's a deep well, comes out at about 3 degrees, I think. You must warm it up first. House plants are the same. Don't water them straight off the tap because that water is cold. So let it warm up somewhere a little bit first. The watering can that's on the floor here is full of snow juice, which I've taken out of my drum. She's laughing again. And it's been on the prop bench. No, it's not heated, the prop bench, don't forget, but it's at a nice temperature. Now, what it shows at the moment, let me have a quick look here and see. It's showing, about 70. And that's just the heat from the lights, because there is no other heat in here. So, snow juice. And then these are all going to get a good soak. Start it off of the seed. And then just...
Start it off on the sand.
On the sand, off of the seed. Yeah, and look at this already. That tells you a story straight off.
There's one that's sitting rather
wet. Yep.
Actually, that is not.
And bearing in mind, these were all moistened if they needed it before I sowed. So that one actually may have to soak it from the bottom. I'm going to guess that's the organic Pro-Mix. And it is. I will give that one a soak. I'll have to soak it from the base. And what I'll do is I'll put that one back in there. So we'll give these another soak. And there's another one at the back again. Look at that. And that's another Pro-Mix one. So the Pro-Mix is not absorbing, he's not taking on the water as well as the others. Now that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to soak them anymore. Now, before Julie says it, we have no affiliation to any of these companies. And all my comments, all my remarks about these composts are my own.
And what you see.
And what I see at this stage. And from the experience that I've got handling thousands and thousands and thousands of tons of compost over the years.
Right. So, I mean, you could be wrong.
Oh, I could be wrong.
In which case, you will eat your words.
And in a way, it would be nice if I was wrong about one of these, 2 or 3 or whatever. I'm already correct about one of them because I already knew that I didn't like the look of that organic one. Mm. And again, it's a feel thing. When you've been doing it as long as I've been doing it, it's a feel. You get a feel.
But we will hold final judgment.
Yeah, yes. The one that doesn't moisten up might grow the best of the lot. We just don't know. So anyway, quickly, let's shut that up a minute. We'll just take a quick diversion. Once I've moved all the plastic glassware. So if Julie just comes over. This is the ones that we did previously. So these were all sown. There's the label. They were sown on the 20th of the 12th. First tray spinach. Second tray is exactly what we have just sown. So the back tray is what we would expect to see in those trays over there after about 2 weeks.
This is about 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks.
20th. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these are looking nice. No heat. They've been off the heat now for actually, as soon as they germinate and as soon as I see everything germinated, and that doesn't matter what you're germinating, the minute everything is up to a satisfaction of your level, turn the bottom heat off. So that's where we are with this seed sowing compost experiment. I'm quite looking forward to seeing the results because I honestly don't know. I've got a feeling. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, so please like and subscribe. Stay tuned. And we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye. I'm back. Although I said bye on the last one, it was going to be the end of the video. But the stuff in the bench has come through really quick. So we thought we'd stick this on the end of that video rather than waiting another week to show you the germination. So yes, unfortunately you've got to put up with me
for another, not too long, Gary.
Jibber jabbering on about germination. And we're going to do you a quick update on the sweet peas as well, because they've just, almost want to put them outside in the snow, slow them down, stupid things. And our salad as well. So anyway, close your eyes, because I'm going to put lights on.
The date that
we sowed these.
The trial was January the 1st.
I didn't put the top. Perhaps I should start putting the time on things as well. This stuff's coming through so fast nowadays.
And what's the date today?
So sown January 1st, around just after lunch. So we start getting a bit precise. This is coming through so fast. And now we're at January 5th, about 2 p.m. I'm going to have to start putting times on the labels. So everything's come through, which is no surprise. To be honest, you provide the right moisture, the right amount of heat, and stuff's going to germinate. But yeah, very little difference in this at the moment. If there is a little bit of difference, it'll probably be down to the fact that maybe I put a little bit more compost on some than I did the others, but it's all coming through really nicely. Temperature wise, base heat is about 72. So it's about 70-ish at the germination level of the compost, just right for this. So I'll give this another couple of days and then I will turn the heat off. I did put the lights on last night for the first time because I don't want these things getting drawn and leggy. So last night was the first night of light, and then 2 more days and then the heat's coming, bottom heat's coming off. No more heat, no supplementary heat for these things after that. They'll be moved to the other side of the bench. So that's where we are with this one. We'll catch up with this one again on the next video just to show you the progress. But while we're in here, we'll do a quick catch up on what I call our salad, which was sown quite a few days earlier.
And we showed you this episode 32, which is the last episode.
Do you want some more lighting in case you can't see? There we go. So this again is another cut and come again. You can see those really doing well. And then the front one obviously is spinach, perpetual spinach. Won't be long.
A few more days and I can
Julie
start picking on that one.
Yeah, the one at the back, Julie can start cutting. And then obviously we've got the 9 trays of other stuff. You look like a bloody rabbit. My nose will start twitching soon. But Leah, they were looking really pathetic. Bought them in. No bottom heat as such, but a bit of warmth. You can see they're all shooting nicely. And then lastly, we'll show you the update on the sweet pea triffids. The damn things won't slow up. They just keep growing and growing and growing. It's too warm in here. I want to get them out into the polytunnel in a new code frame that I'm in the process of building, but it's just been too cold, minus 18, and then not getting much above minus 10 during the day is too big a hit for them. So a day after tomorrow, we're supposed to get about 4 or 5 days of just around freezing. So they're going to go out. I've not quite finished the code frame. We will feature that on one of the videos. And then they're going to go out there. And at that point, I will also cut them back. But I'm not going to talk about that today. That's for another video. But while we're here, lettuce. I'll turn them this way, Julie. You can see just a few lettuce that I threw in there. Looking really nice. These are just about ready for pricking out. And they'll get pricked out into little individual pots. And then we have some rocket here. Again, looking really nice. Not at all leggy, not at all drawn. And then growing them cold. No heat. There's a bit of onion coming up here as well by the looks of it. Bit of a straggler. And finally, we have radish. Again, growing cold, just with supplementary light, obviously. Just started forming their main... Oh, you can't see very well. Oh, there was one there. Let's bring it over here in the light where you can see. There we go. So you've just started forming new true leaves. And actually, they've started thickening out at the base. So at this point, I now know I have to sow another pot. As soon as I start seeing them thickening out at the base, I'll sow another pot. And then I just keep that progression going right through the winter for as long as we want radish.
Now, when we were talking about the sweet peas when they're in the propagation bench, you did talk about putting them under different lights.
Yeah.
So these are the lights you were talking about?
Yeah, these are different ones. I've not used these before. So it's a bit of a trial. But I must admit, although they've not been out here, not so much the sweet peas, because I don't think they're a good indicator of lights. Because to be honest, at this stage, I think they grow in the bloody dark. Because they're just flying away. The lettuce, the radish, and the rocket, they've been out here now for about 5 days, and they've definitely slowed up, and they've definitely started to, they're not drawn and leggy, they've started to bulk up, I think is the best term. So if we look at this one,
you're not getting tall individual leaves.
No, I'm not.
Nice,
nice, that's the word. Yeah, getting really nice, short, stocky plants, which is what we want. Yeah. So this one here is butterhead all year round. This one will take the cooler temperatures, but they'll be grown cold now fairly well. And then this... And
cold just being
in my workshop here. So it's really not getting much below. I would have said it doesn't dip below 45. And it seems to be sitting around about 50 even with the cold temperatures. And then this one is a curled oak leaf. And you can see that already. Again, nice stocky little plants, just about ready. And what I'll do with these is I won't prick them all out because otherwise they're all going to come at the same time. And as I say, there's only so many lettuce leaves you can eat before you start.
There's only so many lettuce leaves Gary will eat.
You'd be twitching. Your freaking nose will be twitching if you keep eating and be hopping around like a bloody rabbit.
Good for you, Gary.
So I'll probably prick out like 3 of these, 3 of the others, and wait 2 weeks and then prick out a couple more, pick out the big ones to start with. So this pot here will probably last us a good almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So don't
along with all the other
rabbit food that I've got in here. Yippee.
Well, that's why you lose the weight, dear.
Yes, I know. Yes. So no complaints really, but it's still at the end of the day, I love growing it. Not so fond on eating it, but that's just me personally.
I love it.
I like the fries and the meat that go with it.
We know you do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So these lights, as I said, they are new to me. I'm sure they're not new to many people. They are full spectrum. If you come this way a bit, Julie, you can show everybody what they are rather than me jabbering on about a whole bunch of stuff.
These did come from
Amazon. So yeah, we'll see. They seem to be working really well. Obviously, only being 42 watts, they're going to burn nowhere near as much hydro as my big monster ones here. And I like these are nice if you've got a narrow space, like our Danish trolleys here. They are quite narrow. There's not a lot of depth on them. So these strip light style are much better for that. My trolleys are fairly narrow, so they're only 22 inches. One in the middle certainly won't be enough. I have 2 here. Put one in the middle, your plants will be drawn to it. So they're both set up fairly near the edge. I've tried to sort of get the light level equal all the way across. I don't think there's a bright spot in there. I think it's fairly equal. And as I say, the plants haven't been in there for very long, but they seem to be developing really nice stocky plants. But don't worry about the sweet peas. That's what sweet peas do. But when you compare that pink light to this light in here, and these are full spectrum again, these lights will cover a much wider area. So these lights will cover 4 feet by 5 feet. So they're perfect for what I have in here. So yeah, that's a bit of information on the lighting. But I mean, if anybody's got any questions anytime about anything that I talk about, please just pop something into the comments.
Because Gary does have a tendency to forget.
I do forget sometimes. And the biggest problem I have is because I've done this for so many years, I just do stuff without thinking about it. I sometimes forget the basics. When I don't forget the basics, I forget to talk through the basics. So I do apologize for that for anybody that's tearing their hair out because Gary didn't mention which way up a seed should go, or, he forgot to mention the fact that you've got to water it. I don't know, just lots of different things that I just do comes naturally to me. Labeling's the big one. I forget that all the time. But I must admit, now I'm being told off for it more regularly. I do put more labels in.
So yes, absolutely. Send a comment if you need to know anything.
Anything at all. But in the meantime, please follow, like and subscribe. No, subscribe. Describe. Like and subscribe. And we'll catch up with you
next time.
Next time. Bye.
Bye.